I spiked the mashed potatoes with enough laxative to turn my sister's perfect Thanksgiving into a porcelain parade. But that was just the appetizer. For 12 years, I'd wiped asses and bandaged scraped knees for her brats while she jetted off to yoga retreats and book club flings. All because I'd buried her dirty little secrets so deep it nearly drowned me. And now, as the first groans rippled through the room like thunder in a trailer park, I leaned back in my creaky chair, the weight of a decade's resentment finally lifting off my chest like smoke from a back alley bonfire. My name's Freya Harlan, and if you think family is blood, you're half right. It's the leeches that suck you dry without a thank you. Born and raised in the Rust Belt armpit of Youngstown, Ohio, where the steel mills coughed their last in the 80s and left us all scavenging for scraps, I learned early that loyalty's a one-way street lined with potholes. Mama died when I was 15, ODing on the fentanyl wave that hit our holler like a biblical flood, pills from a doc who cared more about quotas than lives. Daddy? He was a ghost in a John Deere cap, trucking cross-country until the bottle claimed him 5 years later. That left me and Lila, my big sister by 3 years, rattling around in a double-wide that smelled like despair and discount ramen. Lila was the golden girl from the jump. Cheer captain at Cheney High, prom queen with a laugh that could charm the devil, and a body that turned heads even in acid-wash jeans. Me? I was the shadow, bookish, awkward, with freckles like buckshot across my nose and a stutter that flared up whenever teachers called on me. But I idolized her. When Mama's heart gave out under that cocktail of opioids, Lila was the one who held my hand at the funeral, whispering, "We're all we've got now. Fry. Sisters forever." I believed her. Hell, I still do. In the twisted way you love a scorpion after it stings you.
College was her ticket out.
She snagged a partial ride to Kent State on a beauty scholarship. Yeah, that's a thing in Ohio, and I worked doubles at the Waffle House to cover what the loans didn't. Nights blurred into grease-slicked dawns, flipping flapjacks for truckers who tipped in loose change and leers. Lila breezed through psych classes, minoring in how to manipulate your way to the top, and graduated with a ring on her finger from some finance bro named Chad Whitaker. Chad was all Patagonia vests and craft IPAs, the kind of guy who quoted TED Talks at barbecues. They settled in a McMansion outside Cleveland, popping out kids like it was a hobby. First Ellie, then twins Max and Mia. Picture perfect, right? Instagram reels of pumpkin patches and beach vacations. Captions like blessed beyond measure. But perfection's got cracks. It started with the affair. Lila confessed to me one humid July night in 2013, 3 months after Mia's birth. Her voice a slurry whisper over the phone as Chad snored in the background. "Fry, you gotta help me. It's nothing serious, just stress relief with this guy from the gym." But Chad found texts. He's talking divorce. I drove the hour from my shitty studio in Akron, heart pounding like a bass drum in a Metallica cover band. She was a mess, smeared mascara, nursing bra leaking through her tank top, the baby wailing in the bassinet. "I can't lose this life," she sobbed. "The house, the status, it's all I have. Promise you won't tell? I'll make it up to you." Anything. Anything turned out to be the first lie. I didn't just keep quiet. I became the fixer. When Chad confronted her, I was there, spinning tales of how I'd seen her stressed, how the gym buddy was a female trainer misgendered in a group chat. It worked. Chad bought it, chalking it up to postpartum fog. But Lila's appetites didn't stop. Over the next year, it was cocktail waiters, an adjunct prof from her alumni mixer, even the PDA president during a bake sale setup. Each time, I'd get the 2 a.m. call. Fry. Emergency. Come quick. I'd rush over. Fabricate alibis. Delete browser histories. Coach her through the tears. You're my rock, she'd coo, pressing a damp 20 into my palm like it bought silence. Then came the real gut punch. Fall 2015. Ellie was 4. The twins barely walking. Lila was deep in it with her latest, some venture capitalist named Trent. All Teslas and teeth-whitening strips. They were sloppy. Hotel receipts in her purse. A hickey blooming like a bruise on her collarbone. Chad found out for real this time. Not through texts, but a private investigator he'd hired after the third girls' night ran long. The PI's report landed like a grenade. Photos. Timestamps. Even a transcript of a voicemail where Lila moaned Trent's name like it was foreplay. Divorce loomed, but Lila flipped the script. Fry, you're the only one who gets it. If Chad takes the kids. Her eyes, red-rimmed but calculating, locked on mine. That's when she dropped the bomb, the one that chained me to her forever. Remember that car accident last summer? The one where I totaled the Escalade on I-71? Cops said DUI. But I wasn't driving.
Trent was.
He blew a .12.
Fry.
I switched seats. Told the state trooper I was the one behind the wheel. They charged me with reckless endangerment, but my lawyer got it down to a misdemeanor. Community service. Fine.
Done.
But if Chad digs, if he finds out I perjure myself to cover for a lover. I stared at her, the room spinning like I'd chugged the cheap Merlot she kept for emergencies. She dragged me into her lie without asking, forging my signature on a witness statement that placed me at the scene as the sober friend who drove her home after. I'd signed it blind, thinking it was just paperwork for her insurance claim.
Now?
It was felony territory, obstruction of justice, perjury by proxy. If it unraveled, we'd both go down. But Lila? She had the kids. Chad would paint her as the villain. Unfit mother. And poof, custody gone. I'll take the fall, I said, the words tasting like rust. What choice did I have? We were blood. Sisters forever.
So I did.
When Chad's lawyer subpoenaed records, I testified under oath that I'd been the one drinking that night, that Lila had heroically pulled me from the wreck. It was perjury, straight up. But the judge bought it, small-town sympathy for a devoted aunt covering for family. Charges against Lila evaporated. Chad, burned but broke, settled for joint custody and a house that bled him dry in alimony. In return, I got the scraps. Lila, grateful at first, offered me the guest room. Move in.
Fry.
Help with the kids while I get back on my feet. Back on her feet meant back on Tinder. Back to brunches with Botox moms who eyed me like the help. I quit my job at the library, 30 grand a year shelving romances for soccer moms, and became full-time nanny. Diapers at dawn. Carpools through rush hour hell. Homework battles over iPads glowing like devil's eyes. Ellie called me Annie Fry, the twins just Fry, like I was a side dish. Lila's gratitude curdled quick. God. Fry. Can you not hover? I need space. Space for what? Her consulting gigs that smelled like cologne and lies. Years blurred. By 2020, the twins were 7. Ellie 11, monsters with braces and attitudes. But mine in every way that mattered. I'd read them Goodnight Moon 1,000 times. Patched their heartbreaks over first crushes, Cheered at T-ball games where Lila scrolled Insta instead of watching. My life? A ghost. No dates. No dreams. Just the endless churn of laundry and lies. I'd aged out of my 20s in sweatpants. My reflection a stranger with crow's feet and calluses from playground gravel. But the betrayal festered. Lila remarried, some tech douche named Ryan. All crypto bros and standing desks. Wedding was a circus, destination bash in Napa. Me footing half the babysitter bill so she could glow. Ryan knew nothing of the skeletons. To him, I was the saintly spinster aunt. Such a help.
Help.
That's what I was, free labor. Indentured by a secret that could land me in Lucasville Women's for 5 to 10. The hook was set. Every family dinner. Every holiday toast. She'd flash that smile, pearly white spot with my silence, and I'd swallow the bile. Until that Thanksgiving. 2025. The air thick with turkey grease and false cheer. Ryan carving the bird like he owned the world. The kids squabbling over rolls. Lila, radiant in cashmere, raised her glass. To family. To the ones who hold us together. No matter what. Her eyes met mine. A wink like we shared a joke. No matter what. The words ignited it. I dosed the sides that morning, nothing lethal. Just enough X-Lax swiped from the drugstore to make her world spin. As the first cramp hit her mid-toast, face twisting like she'd swallowed glass, I felt it. The snap. The leash severed. Revenge wasn't a dish, it was the whole damn feast. The table erupted in chaos. Oh God. Lila. You okay? Ryan bolted up. Napkin flapping. Ellie froze. Fork midair. Eyes wide as saucers. The twins giggled at first, nervous. Then scared, as Lila bolted for the bathroom, heels clicking like gunfire on hardwood. I sat there, serene as a snake in the grass, sipping my water. Must be the gravy, I said softly, to no one and everyone. Sometimes old recipes don't age well. Ryan shot me a look, confusion laced with suspicion, but corralled the kids to the den for cartoons. I cleared plates methodically, the clink of china a metronome to my pulse. Upstairs, retching echoed like accusations. When she emerged, pale as milk, she cornered me in the kitchen, voice a hiss. What the hell? Fry? You trying to embarrass me? I met her gaze. Steady as steel. Embarrass you? After everything? The words hung, heavy as humidity before a storm. She blinked, feigning innocence. What are you talking about? This isn't the time. It's always the time. Lila. 12 years of your time. My life. The accident. The lies. The kids. Her face drained further. Realization dawning like a bad trip. You wouldn't. Not in front of them. Wouldn't what? Tell the truth. I stepped closer. Voice low. The faucet dripping our underscore. You built this empire on my back. Perjury. Alibis. Wiping your slate clean while I wipe noses. I'm done being the villain in your fairy tale. She laughed, a brittle, desperate bark. Villain? You're the one who chose this. Sisters forever. Remember? You signed up. I signed a statement. You signed away my freedom. The twins' laughter filtered from the den. A reminder sharper than any knife. Ellie's voice called. Andy Fry? Mommy okay? Lila's eyes darted. Calculating as ever. Fine. You want out? Take it. But the kids, they need stability. You leave. And Ryan's lawyer will bury you. That perjury? It's on tape. Bluff or truth. Didn't matter. The snap had come, and there was no one snapping it. Stability, I echoed, tasting the word like ash. Like the kind you gave me, or the kind I'll give them? I turned, leaving her to stew in her own juices, literal and figurative. Dinner limped on, awkward as a three-legged dog. Ryan chalked it to food poisoning, popped Pepto like candy. The kids sensed the fracture, picking at pie with downcast eyes. Lila played the martyr, excusing herself twice more, each time shooting daggers my way. Under the table, my foot tapped a rhythm, freedom's beat, revenge's march. That night, as snow dusted the cul-de-sac like powdered regret, I packed a duffel in the guest room that had been my cell. Photos of the kids taped to the mirror, Ellie's gap-toothed grin, Max's finger paint masterpiece, Mia's crayon heart. They weren't hers alone anymore. They'd been mine, forged in midnight fevers and dawn cuddles. Lila could scheme all she wanted, but blood or not, I'd fight for what's right. The first move was mine. And it started with a call to Chad, the ex who still simmered with old grudges. "It's time you knew the whole story," I said when he picked up, voice gravel from a decade's smoke. About the accident. And everything after. His paws stretched. Then Freya? Hell. It's been years. You okay?
No.
I wasn't. But I would be. Better than okay. I'm done protecting her. We met at a dive off the interstate, neon buzzing, open 24/7, booths scarred like my conscience. Chad slid in across from me, grayer at the temples, lines etched from boardrooms and betrayals. "Spill it," he said, nursing the Bud Light. No preamble. I did. The affair graveyard, the switch seats, Trent's blood alcohol blur, my perjury, the alibi web. His face darkened with each detail, fist clenching the bottleneck. That bitch. She lied to my face, our faces, while I paid her goddamn alimony. He leaned in, eyes alight.
Why now?
And why me? Because you're the father. And I'm the aunt who's raised them more than she has. I slid a folder across, printouts of Lila's latest flings. Timestamps from her work trips, even a blurry photo of her and Ryan's personal trainer at a motel off 271. I'd gathered it piecemeal. Late nights on her unlocked laptop. A digital scavenger hunt born of boredom and bitterness. Chad whistled low. This could flip custody. Joint's bullshit. She's barely involved. He paused, sizing me up. You want in? Testify? Or are you just venting? Venting?
No.
This was ignition. I want the kids safe. From her lies. Her revolving door of uncles. If that means testifying. I trailed off. The weight of another oath heavy but necessary. Perjury twice? Reckless. But for them? Worth the gamble. He nodded.
Slow.
Lawyer up. I'll front the PI, dig deeper. But Freya, this war? It's ugly. She'll come at you hard. Let her. I'd been her doormat long enough. As I drove back through the slush-slick night, radio crooning Springsteen, Born to Run. Ironic as hell, I felt the engines hum match my resolve. Youngstown grit. Cleveland polish. It was all rusting away. Time to polish my own armor. Lila was waiting when I pulled in, silhouetted in the porch light like a bad omen. Where the hell were you? She snapped, arms crossed over her robe.
Out.
I brushed past. Duffel slung. She followed, heels on tireless staccato pursuit. With who? Chad? You stupid cow, after everything I've done. Done. I whirled, dropping the bag. You mean the 12 years I slaved so you could play house? The secret that could have jailed me? Yeah. Thanks. Her laugh was venom. Slaved? You lived here rent-free. Ate my food. Drove my car. Ungrateful much. She stepped closer, perfume cloying as deceit. You think you can waltz out and take my kids? Over my dead body. Your kids. The words cracked like thunder. Ellie's recitals I filmed alone. Max's asthma attacks I handled at 3 a.m. Mia's nightmares me. Every time. You're the ghost. Lila. Not me. She flinched, but rallied classic flip, sweet to savage in a heartbeat.
Fine. Go.
But if you breathe a word, I'll bury you. That perjury? I have copies. Signed by you. Bluff all you want. I zipped the duffel. Final as a guillotine. I'm done bluffing. The door clicked shut behind me. Cold air slapping sense into my cheeks. Ryan's SUV idled in the drive. Backup called? I didn't care. Keys and ignition. I peeled out. Taillights bleeding red into the dark. First stop, a motel off I-80. Neon vacancy, winking like a promise. I crashed hard. Dreams tangled with baby cries and courtroom gavels. Dawn brought coffee black as my mood, and a text from Chad. PI on it. Meet tomorrow? Affirmative. But as I scrolled news on my phone, headlines of opioid ghosts haunting Ohio. Families fractured like fault lines. I wondered, was this revenge? Or just survival? The line blurred, but the path didn't. Straight to hell. Maybe, but paved with truth. Days bled into weeks. Chad's PI was a bulldog named Vic. Ex-cop with a gut like a beer keg and eyes that missed nothing. He tailed Lila's errands, snapped pics of her at coffee shops with a Silver Fox accountant, even caught Ryan in his own web, poker nights that stretched to dawn. Business that reeked of strip clubs. Your sister's a hurricane, Vic grunted over greasy diner eggs. Leaves wreckage. Blames the wind. I nodded, stirring sugar I didn't need. Wreckage like me.
But the kids, innocence in the eye.
Ellie texted daily. Miss you, Fry. Mom's weird. Max sent memes. Mia doodles of unicorns with my name scrawled in purple. Each ping a hook in my gut. Lila's first strike came subtle, texts laced with guilt. Kids asking for you. Come home.
Fry.
We can fix this. Then Ryan. Family sticks. Freya. Don't make it ugly. Ugly?
Pot. Kettle.
I ignored them. Bunked with a cousin in Akron, dank basement, but free. Job hunt. Barista gigs. Admin drones. Anything to rebuild. Chad filed motions, custody review. Fraud claims on the divorce settlement. Lila countersued, alienation of affection, defamation. She's painting you as the psycho nanny, Chad's lawyer. A shark named Elena. Briefed over Zoom. Says you dose the food out of spite.
Spite?
Damn right. But proof?
None.
Laxatives untraceable in a body that size. Still, the accusation stung. Tabloid fodder for Cleveland's gossip mills. Then the call that flipped it. Vic. Voice tight. Got something big. Meet now. Diner again. steam rising from pie like secrets. He slid an envelope. Yellowed edges. Accident report. Original. Trooper's notes says the driver was male. Billed like a linebacker. Trent matches. And get this, Lila paid him off. $20K. Wired post-settlement. My hands shook opening it. There, handwritten scrawl. Female subject claims wheel. But passenger male ejected forward. Blood on dash his. Forged statement attached. My signature a forgery, so sloppy it screamed amateur. She faked it all, I whispered. Framed me from the start. Vic nodded. Perjury squared. Feds could touch it. Mail fraud if the wire cross-states. Feds. My stomach nodded. But leverage.
Pure.
Cold gold. I drove to Chad's that night. Envelope burning a hole in my glove box. His place was a bachelor pad Redux, leather couch, flat screen droning ESPN. This changes everything, he said, scanning pages by lamplight. We go nuclear. Nuclear meant depositions. Affidavits. A custody hearing that'd make Jerry Springer blush. Lila's lawyer squawked conflict of interest me. The perjurer. Testifying? Judge. A grizzled vet named Harlan, no relation. Thank God. Allowed it. Truth's truth. MS.
Harlan.
Swear on it. Swearing came easy this time. Courtroom smelled of polish and panic. Gallery packed with reporters sniffing drama. Lila sat ramrod. Ryan's hand on hers like a clamp. The kids, in the green room with a social worker, oblivious. I took the stand, voice steady as Ohio winter. I lied for her. Covered the DUI, the perjury. Raised her children while she chased affairs. But no more. Gasps rippled, Lila's face a mass cracking. Cross-exam, her sharkened pearls. MS. Harlan. Isn't it true you're bitter? Unmarried. Childless. Envious of your sister's life. Envious? Of the carousel? Bitter.
Yes.
For the years stolen. But the kids deserve better than lies. Juror. Judge mulled. Verdict. Temporary custody to Chad pending investigation. Lila's alimony frozen. Fraud probe launched. She lunged as we recessed, nails raking my arm. You bitch. You'll regret this. Regret? Already did. Ellie sobs in the hall. Why can't Fry stay? Twisted deeper than any claw. Winter clamped down like a vice. Snowplows growling through Cleveland's salted veins, mirroring the chill in my bones. Chad's place became HQ, a war room of file boxes and takeout cartons. The kids shuttling between like pawns on a board only Lila and I could see. Ellie clung to me those first weeks, sleepovers in the guest room. Her head on my shoulder as we binge-watched Stranger Things. Whispering, "Don't leave again."
Fry.
Promise. I promised. Cross my heart. Even as the social worker's notes piled up, and exhibit strong bond, mother shows detachment.
Detachment.
That's Lila's superpower. Post-hearing. She went radio silent, ghosting calls, blocking numbers. Ryan posted passive-aggressive Facebook reels, family first. Pics of him and the kids at the Rock Hall. Lila cropped out like a bad edit. But crack showed. Vic tailed her to a psych eval. Caught her chain-smoking in a parking lot. Mascara rivers down her cheeks. Good. Let her taste the isolation I'd marinated in. My life, meanwhile, was a tightrope. Day job at a Starbucks off Euclid, Frappuccinos for yuppies who tipped in Karen complaints. Nights homework with the twins, braiding Mia's hair while Max quizzed me on Fortnite lore. Chad kept his distance, respectful but wary. You're gold, Freya. But this family's a minefield. Minefield.
Apt.
One wrong step, and the Fed's fraud net could snag me too. The twist came mid-January. A subpoena served with my double espresso. Not Lila's doing, Trent's. The ex-lover, risen from Napa's ashes, lawyered up and countersuing for emotional distress. His depo, Lila promised forever, then framed me as the drunk. Freya knew, enabled it. Enabled. The word slimed like spilled latte. Elena, my lawyer pro bono, bless her, spun it. Coercion. Your sister manipulated you. But the judge wasn't buying full absolution. MS.
Harlan.
Your complicity stands. Probation hearing next month. Probation. For perjury that shielded a felony. I nodded through the Zoom, stomach acid churning. Lila's scheme had tendrils deep,
Barbed. And now,
the kids paid. Ellie's grades tanked. She lashed out at school. Suspended for shoving a girl who called her divorce trash. Max wet the bed again. Mia drew pictures of houses with barred windows. Is Mommy in jail? She asked one night, crayon snapping in her fist. Not yet. Bug. I lied, hugging her close. But the probe crept closer. Feds interviewed the trooper, retired now, bitter about plea deals. Girl switched seats slick as oil. Passenger reeked of bourbon. Wire transfer traced to a Cayman shell, Lila's savings, funneled through Ryan's crypto wallet. He flipped first, cutting a deal, immunity for docs on the payoffs. Didn't know the half, he told Vic off record. Thought it was bad investments. Lila's facade crumbled spectacularly. Paparazzi swarmed the McMansion. Cleveland scene ran suburban soap, affair, lies, and laxatives. They got that last bit from an anonymous tip, call me petty. She holed up, emerging for court in Chanel armor. But her eyes, hollow, hunted. Our paths crossed at a supervised visit. Park bench. Chain-link playground buzzing with strangers' joy. The kids mobbed me first. Fry. Pushed me higher. Lila hovering like a specter. Can we talk? She murmured, while swings creaked. Ellie shot her a look, wary.
New.
Talk. I kept pushing Max. Chain rattling. Like old times? You confess. I clean. She flinched, wrapping her coat tighter. I was scared.
Fry.
Young. Stupid. Chad would have taken everything. Her voice cracked. Real? Or theater? You were always the strong one. I leaned too hard.
Leaned.
Try crushed. And now, the kids see it. Your leaning broke them. Her gaze flicked to Mia, climbing the slide solo. I'll fight. Therapy. Whatever. But you dropping the bomb at dinner? That was cruel.
Full?
The laxative was child's play compared to her decade of deceit. Cruel's raising kids on autopilot. Chasing highs while your sister's rotting in the wings. A gust whipped leaves across the mulch. She shivered. Help me.
Fry.
One last time. Testify it was all me. Say, I forced you. Force? She'd twisted, not snapped. But the plea tugged, old loyalty. Frayed thread. And what? Back to babysitting?
No.
Lila. This ends. She stood, chin high, but tears betrayed her. Sisters forever. Right? Echo of a grave. The word hung as she walked away, heels sinking in grass. Forever. A curse, not a vow. Probation hearing loomed like a guillotine. Elena prepped me. Plea duress. Stress family ties. Rehabilitation. Rehab? I'd started AA meetings, not for booze, but the codependency that let Lila burrow in. Hi. I'm Freya, and I enabled a liar for love. Group nodded. Stories mirroring mine. Sisters who stole inheritances. Brothers who gambled homes.
Catharsis.
Bitter as black brew. Court day. Federal building in downtown. Marble halls echoing footsteps like judgments. Lila there. Spectator row. Ryan absent, divorcing her ass.
Pervic.
Trent testified first, slick suit. Victim act. She ruined me career. Marriage. Freya was accomplice. His eyes met mine, resentment.
Raw.
My turn. Oath sworn. Stand embraced. I lied to protect my sister. Family pressure. Fear of loss. But it was wrong. Voice held.
Surprisingly. Judge.
A woman with steel gray bun.
Leaned in.
And the childcare. MS. Harlan? Alibi for neglect. Neglect.
Yes.
I stepped in, loved those kids like my own.
Pause.
Breath steady. But love doesn't excuse crime. She nodded. Scribbling. Mitigating. Probation. 2 years. Community service. Family counseling mandatory. Relief flooded. Shaky as post-shift legs. Lila caught me in the hall. Grip iron on my elbow. You did it. Thank God. Her smile, tentative. Testing. Did what? Save my skin. I pulled free. Not yours. Her face fell. Fry.
Please.
The kids need truth. Not more fixes. I walked. Back straight. Into winter sun that promised thaw. Spring greened reluctant. Dogwoods blooming pink against gray skies. Custody stabilized. Chad primary. Me co-guardian, weekends. Holidays. A legal aunt with teeth. The kids thrived. Tentative. Ellie's A in algebra. Max's soccer goal. Mia's ballet recital, where she beamed from the wings. For Fry. Lila? A shadow. Therapy court mandated. She showed sporadic visits. Awkward small talk over juice boxes. I'm trying, she'd say. Voice thin. Ryan gone. House listed. She crashed with a cousin in Parma. Rock bottom. Chad snorted over beers one night. About time. Pity stirred. Unwelcome. Was she villain? Or victim of her wants? Nights. I'd scroll her old posts, smiling facade over fractured frame. Schemer? Yes. But human. Flips from sweet to savage? Survival in a world that chews pretty girls. Then the letter came, certified. Manila envelope postmarked Columbus. Inside. Plea from her lawyer. Client seeks reconciliation. Joint family session propose. Reconciliation. The word soured like milk. But the kids. Mommy misses you. Fry. Ellie's plea. Scrawled on construction paper. I agreed. Neutral ground. Counselor's office in Shaker Heights. Mid-century calm with Kleenex boxes and coasters. Lila arrived early. Subdued in jeans and ponytail, no armor. Thanks for coming, she said, hands twisting. Counselor.
Dr.
Patel, a soft-spoken shrink with kind eyes. Set ground rules, no blame. Just feels.
Easy?
Hell no. I hated you. I started. Voice raw. The lies. The burden. Felt like prison. She nodded.
Tears pooling.
I know. Selfish. Scared of losing control.
Pause.
But you were my safety net. Always. Safety net? I was the fall guy. Heat rose. The accident framing Trent.
Forging my sig.
That wasn't leaning, that was shoving. Her flinch reel.
Desperate.
Thought it'd vanish. Voice broke. Sorry doesn't cut it. But I am.
Dr.
Patel steered. Freya. What do you need?
Truth.
For the kids. No more secrets. I met Lila's gaze. And space. To heal. She swallowed. I can give that. Co-parent. Not control.
A beat.
Sisters? Maybe not forever. But civil. Civil. A start. Session ended with handshakes. Tentative as spring ice. But Lila's flips weren't done. 2 weeks later. Bombshell. She was pregnant. Ryan's parting gift. Confirmed at a checkup she'd hidden. Keeping it, she texted. Emoji heart, cautious olive branch. Pregnant. The word detonated. Another kid? In her cyclone life, panic surged for the unborn. The siblings. You sure? I called. Voice sharp.
Yeah.
Scared shitless.
But yeah.
Her laugh.
Watery.
Need a net? Borrow yours? Temptation tugged. Old role. New chapter.
But no.
Build your own, I said. I'm here for advice. Not alibis.
Click.
Line dead. But line drawn. Summer hummed in. Fireflies winking over Lake Erie barbecues. The kids and I made memories. Cedar Point coasters. Stomach drops mirroring emotional ones. Chad dated. A nice nurse named Tara. Steady as oatmeal. Stability. Finally. Yet tension simmered. Lila's pregnancy swelled. Ultrasounds shared in group texts. Girl. Due October. She worked retail now. Folding sweaters at Macy's. Humility's uniform. Visits warmed. Storytime trios. Her reading with exaggerated voices.
Me chiming in.
The kids bridged us. Fragile but firm. August heat wave broke with thunder. Mirroring the storm brewing. Vic called. Feds closing in. Lila's wiring. Ties to bigger fish. Embezzlement from Ryan's firm. Embezzlement? She dipped into company funds for the Trent payoff? How deep?
Deep.
Trial date set. Your depot, they want it. Depot again. The noose tightened. Lila confessed over coffee, neutral Starbucks. Irony thick. I panicked. Borrowed. Meant to pay back. Her belly bumped the table. Hands protective. Fry. If I go down.
The baby. The baby.
Unborn pawn. You always have an out, I said. Flat. Not this time. She cried then, ugly. Snotty. Help me. Plead it was desperation. Postpartum. Whatever.
No.
The snap echoed. Dinner's ghost. Face it. Lila. Like I did. She left. Waddling into rain. Umbrella forgotten. Depot day. Sterile room. Court reporter clicking keys like accusations. Feds grilled gentle but firm. MS. Harlan. Your role in the perjury coerced? Partly, I admitted.
Fear.
Loyalty.
But choice.
2. They nodded. Files closing. Appreciate candor.
Outside.
Lila waited, rain slick.
Desperate.
What did you say? Truth. Simple. Slicing. Her face crumpled. You chose them over me. Them? Everyone. Including you if you grow. She turned, vanishing into gray. Trial loomed.
But so did birth.
October, a girl. Lily, named for lost innocence. Lila clean. No deals. But sentence pending. 18 months. White collar wing. Handover at hospital. Me. Chad. The kids peeking at bundled pink. Lila. Exhausted glow. Handed Lily off. Auntie Fry, she whispered. Strong. Like you. Held her, tiny.
Trusting.
Heart cracked wide. We'll be here. Release in 27.
Lila out.
Changed.
Times test. Me.
Guardian aunt. Barista mom. Scars as badges. Revenge? Not sweet. Necessary. Like surgery. But the debate lingers. Hero or homewrecker? Savior or saboteur? In America's fractured families, no one's clean. Just survivors. Swinging. Fall leaves carpeted the suburbs in crimson regret, crunching under tires as I ferried the kids to Lila's supervised visits, now at a Stark County center. Fluorescent hum underscoring her fall. Lily cooed from her carrier. Oblivious to the irony, another mouth I'd help feed. Another thread in the Harlan tangle. Lila. Postpartum soft. Juggled bottles and bravado. She's got your eyes. Fry, she'd say. Deflection in every dimple. My eyes, wary green. Like pond water after rain. Fitting. Trial prep consumed us. Lila's public defender. A harried kid fresh from Case Western. Coached her on remorse narratives, tears on cue. Community ties emphasized. Lean on family, he urged. Family.
Me.
The star witness against her? Chad laughed over pork chops one night. Tara passing roles. She's delusional. Always was. Delusional or desperate. Nights. I'd rock Lily when Lila nodded off during overnights, tiny fists kneading my shirt. Milk scent trust. You'll be okay, I'd murmur, meaning us all. But the Fed's case hardened. Emails unearthed. Lila directing Ryan to launder the embezzle through bogus vendors. $20K was tip, Vic updated. Total, $150. Ponzi vibes. $150K. Stolen dreams, mine included. That cash could have bought my escape. A down payment on dignity. Instead, it greased her wheels. Resentment bubbled. Laxative light. But I swallowed. For Lily. For the packed weed unspoken. Survival over scorched earth. Indictment day. Courthouse steps mobbed. Local news vans idling like vultures. Lila emerged cuffed minimal. For show, head high, but knees buckled on the curb. I was there. By court order.
Kids in tow.
Ellie's hand slipped in mine. Squeeze fierce. Mommy, Mia whispered. Max stared. Stone-faced. Be strong, Lila mouthed. Loaded into the van. Her eyes pleading. Broken. Sisters forever? Shattered glass. Jail warped her quick. Letters arrived. Scrawled on lined paper. Fry. It's hell. Bugs. Screams. Tell the kids I love them. Then please, speak for me. Leniency. I filed them away. A paper trail of her unraveling. Counselor sessions mandatory, Dr. Patel zooming from her leather chair. Boundaries. Freya. Help without enabling. Boundaries. Easier preached than poured. When Lily spiked a fever, 102 under downy lashes, I paced ER halls. Chat en route. Lila, the nurse asked.
No, I said.
Aunt. But the form Red Guardian. My signature is shield. Chad arrived. Tara with coffee. You got this, he said, clapping my shoulder. Brotherly. Almost. The kids piled in later. Post-school. Ellie reading to Lily. Voice steady. Twins building block forts against illness. Family. Redefined. No blood required. Just backbone. Sentencing loomed February. Snow blanketing the Cuyahoga like a shroud. Media frenzy peaked. Cleveland plain dealer op-ed. Suburban schemer or scapegoat mom? Debate raged online. Free Lila camps clashing with justice for victims.
Me?
Silent. Stirring oatmeal for breakfast brigade. But trolls found me. Psycho aunt. Jail next. Blocked. Deleted. But Barb stuck like burrs. Courtroom packed. Trent smirking row 3. Ryan absent, fled to Austin. New gig. Judge Harlan, same from custody, gavelled order. Lila in orange. Hair limp. Took the stand. I stole from desperation, she said. Voice quaver. Fail my family. But I'm owning it. For them. Tears flowed. Genuine? The gallery shifted. Sympathy ripples. My turn. Character witness. Reluctant. Lila's flawed. I testified. Palms slick on rail. Manipulative.
Yes.
But redeemable? If she tries.
Pause.
Breath caught. She's their mother. Mercy for the kids. Whispers. Traitor or saint. Judge mulled. Then, 18 months. Minimum security. Restitution full. Probation 5 years post-release. Lila's sob echoed as marshals let her out. Relief? Or ruse? I met her eyes. Not exchanged. Pact sealed. Mercy. My controversial call. Spring thawed literal and litigious. Lily teethed on my thumb. Gums gnawing like tiny doubts. The kids adapted. Ellie's braces off. Smile wide. Max's team won districts. Trophy gleaming, Mia's stories now featured brave aunts. Chad and Tara made it official. Ring. Quiet ceremony in the backyard. Me maid of honor in thrift store teal. To fresh starts, Tara toasted. Glasses clinking. But Lila's absence gnawed. Letters evolved. Book recs. Orange is the new black. Ironic. Recipes scrawled from memory. Teach Lily my meatloaf, one read. I did. Apron dusted flour. Kids giggling at lumps. Echoes of Thanksgiving's past pre-snap. Pre-shatter. Summer solstice brought a twist. Conjugal visit invite. Come see me, Lila penned. Need your face. Prison an hour south. Razor wire glinting under Ohio sun. I drove solo. Lily napping rear-facing. Radio low on country twang Garth. The dance. Check-in. Pat-down. Metal detector beep. Visitation room. Bolted tables. Vending hum. Lila shuffled in. Thinner. Tattoos peeking, jail ink. Fry. Hug through plexiglass? No, air kiss. Awkward. You look good, I lied. She did. In a way. Eyes clear. No makeup mask.
Clean.
AA inside works. She grinned.
Crooked.
Lily walking yet? Crawling chaos. We talk surface. Kids' triumphs. My promotion to shift lead, perks, free lattes. Then deep. Regret the dinner? She asked. Fingers tracing table scars. Every cramp. Honesty's blade. But it started the end. Necessary evil. She nodded. I pushed you there. Schemer to the end.
Pause.
Vulnerable. After? Rehab for real. No flips. Promise or ploy. Times jury.
Prove it, I said. Out.
Build clean. Clock ticked. Buzzer buzzed. Love you. Sis, she called as COs let her.
Love.
Loaded word. Release loomed spring 27, early for good behavior. GED earned in stir. Prep, job leads, admin at a nonprofit. Irony's gift. Halfway house lined up. Kids buzzed. Mommy home. Mixed, excitement-laced fear. Ellie confided. What if she leaves again? Won't, I vowed. Hugging fierce. We'll watch. But watching meant waiting. Lila paroled quiet. Bus to Cleveland. Duffel sparse.
Pick up at Greyhound. Me.
Alone. Lily on hip. Welcome wagon, I quipped.
Door open.
She slid in. Scent of institutional soap. Thanks. Oh, you. Always do. Drive north. Small talk skirting mines. Home. My new place. 2-bed rental in Lakewood. Porch swing. Lakeview hazy. Kids mobbed on stoop. Chaos joyful. Hugs. Tears. Lily's gummy beam. Dinner. Lasagna layered love and caution. Chad and Tara joined. Neutral ground. Toast tiptoed to new chapters. Lila's eyes shone grateful, guarded, post-meal. Dishes sudsing. She cornered me at sink. Can I
stay? Couch.
Short term. Temptations whisper. Old roll beckoned. No, I said. Gentle steel. Halfway first. Earn it. Hurt flashed. Then nod. Fair. She left with Chad. Overnight trial. Kids crashed early. Sugar high fading to yawns. Alone. Lily asleep. I scrolled news. Another Ohio mom. Fraud bust. Kids in foster. Chills. Was I enabler encore? Or evolution? Fall 27. Lila settled. Nonprofit gig clicking, filing for ex-cons. Meta Mercy. Visits ramped. Dinners. Park days. Her hands steady on Mia's bike. Flips? None overt. Therapy tandem.
DR.
Patel mediating. Forgiveness isn't forgetting, she counseled. It's forward. Forward stutter December, holiday minefield. Thanksgiving redux, my table. Turkey brine tears. Invite extended. Come. No spikes. She laughed. Accepted. Eve. Nerves jangled. Oven midst my armor. Door knock. Lila. Pine hands. Hair curled tentative. Kids enveloped. Awkward thawed to chatter. Grace. Chad's prayer.
Inclusive.
Grateful for fractures heal. Plates passed. Steam rising hope. Lila mid-bite. This gravy? Better than mine. Learned from the best. Wink shared, first in years. But tension simmered. Post-pie. Kids in den with Disney. We cleared. Kitchen hush. Fry.
I.
About the past. No dredging. Fork clink. Water under. She persisted. I flipped on you. Constant. Why trust now? Don't.
Yet.
Honesty's gift. Actions, not alibis.
Nod.
Working it. Vulnerability raw, no scheme in sight. Night wound down.
Coats donned.
At door. Hug. Real. Bones pressing forgiveness. Thanks, she whispered. For the snap. Woke me. Snap. Catalyst. Controversial. Saved us? Or scarred? Winter deepened. Lily's first steps tottering toward Lila during a sledding outing. Euclid's hills blanketed white. Laughter echoed. Pure as powder. Sisters side by side. Breaths clouding. Catch her? Lila asked. Always. Handoff seamless. But the antagonist in her lingered. Shadow subtle. Spring 28. Job offer. Ryan's old firm. Reformed branch in Columbus. Relocate. She broached over brunch. Mimosas untouched. Relocate. Pull away. Start fresh. Kids uprooted? No. Chad vetoed firm. Stability first. Lila deflated, but pressed. For Lily. Better schools. Schools. Bait for control. Here. I countered. Family net. Argument simmered. First crack. She flipped. You control freaks. I serve time. Give me space.
Space.
Echo of old excuses. Space to scheme? Slipped out. Venom vintage. Her slap, verbal. Still see villain? After all. Kids froze. Sensing storm. Ellie, stop fighting. We stopped. Apologies airmailed. Therapy tripled.
Dr.
Patel. Triggers. Heal old wounds. Wounds scabbed, but scarred. Summer fair. Cotton candy stickiness. Ferris wheel creaks. Lila and I rode tandem. City lights below. Sorry, she said. Wind whipping. Old habits. Forgiven. Almost. But no running. Promise sealed. Skyline witness. Twist brewed fall. Trent resurfaced. Lawsuit dropped. But letter. Lila owes me. You vouch. I vanish.
Vouch.
For what? Her change? I forwarded to her PO. Feds looped. Extortion, Vic growled. She's clean. Don't let him drag. Lila confronted. Coffee shop. Steam veiling strain. Ignore him.
No.
Steal. Report. Clean break. She did. Voice study online to cops. Done with ghosts. Pride swelled. Small victory. Her flip to fortitude. Holiday 28. My tree twinkled. Ornaments kid crafted. Lila gifted scarves. Knitting craft class. Uneven but earnest. For cold shoulders. Card read. Laughter genuine. Dinner flowed. No groans. Toasts to complicated kin. Post-feast. Porch swing. Stars pricking black. Think we'll make it? She asked. Blanket shared. Dunno. Honesty. But trying? That's the win. She leaned head on shoulder. Sister wait.
Light now.
Thanks for fighting back. Snap's echo faded to harmony. But controversy clung. Online. Aunt's revenge, heroic or heartless? Forum split. She deserved jail versus family forgives, move on.
Me?
No sides. Gray as Ohio November. Lily's second birthday. Cake smash. Frosting carnage. Lila filmed. I snapped pics. Chaos joyful. Bonds mended. Yet doubt whispered. Was revenge resolution? Or recursion? Lila's eyes. Watching Lily, calculating still? Or calm? Time's verdict pending.
For now.
Forward flawed.
Fierce.
New Year's 29 dawned crisp. Resolutions rusting like forgotten gym memberships. But ours held, fragile as Rice Krispies treats the kids baked for Annie Friday. Lila's probation hummed steady. Check-ins monthly. Urine clean. Job solid. She dated cautious, a librarian named Greg. Bookish beard. No flash. Boring good, she joked over tacos. Ellie rolling eyes. Boring. Music to my ears after the carousel. The kids bloomed unchecked. Ellie JV cheer. Flips mirroring emotional ones. Max Robotics Club. Circuits is calm. Mia piano prodigy. Keys coaxing melodies from minor keys. Lily, toddler terror. My shadow. Up. Fry, chubby arms demanding. Lila co-parented equitable. Pickups split. Holidays halved. No flips. But fumbles late once. Traffic excuse then. Old me, she admitted. Punching clock. Forgiveness flexed. But the buried secret? It unearthed claws. Spring. Feds reopened Trent's angle, his extortion letter tied to a ring. Small-time cons preying on exes. Subpoena for Lila. Associate. No. But shadow cast. Why me, she wailed in session.
Dr.
Patel's box depleted.
Not you.
Echoes. I soothed. Tea steaming. Face it head on. She did. Depot voluntary. Voice quaver, but clear. Past sins. Not present. Feds nodded. File closed. Victory Pyrrhic. Trust tested anew. Summer scorched. Lake days are salve. Huron waves lapping. Sandcastles crumbling like defenses. Lila and I swam tandem. Strokes synced. Remember Mama's holler? She asked. Treading water. Hot as Hades. Splash fight ensued. Kids joining. Water war. Wounds washed. But antagonists' ghosts stirred September. Ryan returned.
Divorce finalized.
But alimony audit unearthed more. Lila's loans to him. Reciprocal rot. He sued. Fraud complicity. Target?
Joint assets.
Including Lily's trust, my seed money. Barista tips compounded. Over my corpse, Chad thundered. Elena on speed dial. Mediation. Conference room sterile. Ryan's shark circling. Lila. Composed. Settle. For peace.
Peace. Costly.
We ceded scraps. Her half of the old house proceeds. Ryan smirked exit. Karma's a bitch. Ladies. Bitch. We'd worn the crown. Lila cracked post-meeting. Bar crawl. Shots slamming like gavels. Men, she slurred. All users. Not all. Greg's text pinged. Home soon. Anchor. She rallied. But flip flickered. Maybe Columbus job now. Fresh. Uproot? Again? Kids rooted. I countered. Sober driver. Stay. Tug of war subtle. But strange showed. Visits tense. Her packing just in case. Ellie sensed. Mom's leaving.
No.
Reassure hug. But seed doubt sprouted. Fall harvest. Thanksgiving 29. Full circle. Table groaning abundance. My prompt. Turkey truss tight. Sides untainted. Lila arrived arms full. Casseroles.
Candor.
Nervous, she confessed. Apron tying. Join club. Oven mitt pass. Dinner unfolded seamless. Grace group led by Mia.
Toasts tear-tinged.
To snaps that save. Lila raised. Eyes mine.
Clink.
Swallow. To Sakon's chances. Post-feast. Dishes dance. She pulled me aside. The job, turned it down. Staying. Relief flooded. Good call. Her squeeze. Your pull. Always. Winter whispered warnings. Lily's flu swept household. Coughs chaining nights. Lila camped couch. Nursing rotations. Team, she murmured. 4 a.m. Thermometer glow. Team. Earned. Not assumed. But climax crustidule, anonymous leak, court docs online. Perjury details dredged. Media maelstrom. Harlan sisters scandal. Revenge or redemption? Talk shows dissected. Me dodging mics at Starbucks. Lila's job teetered. Boss's call. Optics bad. She flipped. Rage raw.
Who? Trent?
Ryan. Phone hurled. Shatter symphony. Doesn't matter. Calm, anchor. Fight or fold.
Fight.
Resume blitz. Networks netted. Greg's hook. Library opening. Steady. New year. Stability shored. But twisted knife. Pregnant again? No. Lila's confession. Boozy girls' night, soda for me. Not Greg. One night. Post Ryan's suit. Scared. Pregnant. Echo 15.
But solo.
Keep, I asked. Hand hers.
Yeah. Boy.
Maybe. Smile shaky. You're not.
No.
Firm.
Fond. Yours.
Will help, not hold. She nodded.
Tears champagne.
Grew up. Growth's proof. Prenatal classes tandem. Her notes, meticulous. Kids thrilled. Baby bro. Max high-fived. Spring 30. Birth. Hospital hum. Pushes primal. Boy, Theo. Squall strong. Lila held him. Eyes fierce. Ours, she said. Including me.
Ours.
Plural healing. Summer solstice. Park picnic. Theo swaddled. Lila and Greg official. Ring simple. Steady wins, she toasted. Juice jars.
Steady.
My wish granted. But controversies close. Online wars waged. Freya the fixer. Still enabling. Versus. Lila reformed. Hate the sin. Love the cis. Debate dinner fodder. Chad's crew split. Tara mediating. No heroes, she said. Just humans. Humans. Flawed finale. Fall crescendo. Lila's 5-year clean mark. Ceremony small, AA hall. Chips exchanged. Her share. Snapped by a sister. Grateful. Applause mine loudest. Thanksgiving 30. Table testament. Kids taller. Theo teething on turkey. Toasts evolved. To gray areas. Post pie. Porch. Stars same. Scars softer. Debate us. Lila mused. Breath fog. Always.
Grin.
Right or wrong. Both. Hug. Best kind. Revenge's arc bent, not broke. Betrayal buried, but bloomed, trust tentative, ties tempered. Twist final, letter from Trent, apology. Jailbound for cons. You won. Fair play. Won, debatable. But standing, whole. America's dark, family's fracture. Reform jagged. Me, Freya Harlan. Aunt Mom. Scarbearer. Snap sparked salvation. Controversial.
Yes.
Uplifting? In the mess. Maybe. And open. Like Ohio skies, storm to sun. Endless.